The title of his speech is Yes, Do It. And let's find out how speaker number 3 got here. And let's welcome Derek telling us, yes, do it.
Yes, do it, right? First, I'm going to show you this picture. I hope it's legible, sort of, but just take a look at it. You see all the people around it, middle, left, right, front. Hopefully it doesn't go away. It's on Facebook. So let's be friends if you want to see it again. Everybody around it, like just the whole thing. Kind of. Once I took it in, I was like, holy crap. But it was pretty neat. Did you get to see it? So that photo, it was the first time I got outside of my comfort zone because I knew for a long time I wanted to and I needed to. And some of you guys know that I was in the Coast Guard. That's when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Believe it or not. I was sitting at the first day. You show up to boot camp and people want to, you sign up for whatever it is, you got all this stuff. That was a picture of me and the drill team. Came down to the last person, I didn't know anybody else wanted to do it. I was like, man, this is, like, who does this stuff? Like, that's not me. But I said, you know what, why not? Like, what's the work, it's twirling guns around, it's pretty freaking cool, I'll tell you that. Because that picture, I'll tell you about it in a little minute. That was probably the first time I was like, look, just do it. Like, what's going to happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get to go out and not have to go do all the running stuff that the boot camp people did? Not really. You still have to do that, but. That's why the title of this speech is yes, just like, yes, do it. Because that's what I was calling. I was asking myself, like somebody else is going to come out, is it going to be you? And I was like, screw it. And I literally raised my hand and that showed up. So I then get out of the Coast Guard. I get my captain's license. It sounds easy. You already know it. You get your captain's license, you jump on a boat and you drive it. A lot of you guys know I've been around boats for my entire life. I could tell you everything about it. But when it comes to standing up here and telling somebody or knowing when people are looking at you or any of that, getting outside your comfort zone is probably the most, I would say I have to say number 2 because number 1 isn't here right now. But that picture just makes me think of how I would have wanted to end up being, I guess you would say, because it's funny. I'm just going to go ahead and get there. I came back, my parents threw a little get-together party, and that was sitting there. I had no idea where that picture came from, right? All I did was, I was like, who the heck was there? I ended up being either in some article somewhere, I don't know what it was, but that picture was in it, and it was the front one. I don't know if you noticed the guy with his hand on his heart, all that. We did a 21-gun salute for 9/11. It's pretty neat because that photo is actually on, when I walk outside my room, that's the last thing I look at when I leave my room. Because when I did that, I would not be here. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here. There's no way I would have been like, okay, cool. Because when I got back and I saw that I was actually, me like that in a setting where I was like, if I knew people were taking pictures of me, I probably would have been freaking out. But I got outside of my comfort zone. And then now I'm here. And I've done things here that I never, ever would have done if I didn't show up to Toastmasters. And plus, some of our guests, I wish we had some more, there's something special about Plantation Toastmasters. Just keep coming back. We all do. I thought there were some people I didn't have seen here, but just our guests. Come back and watch AZ again. He's fun. And actually, while I was in the Coast Guard, I picked up an instrument. It was the guitar. He's bringing up this band. I never knew there was a band that you're actually in. I don't know if you're playing with me or not, but about a month ago, traded in an old guitar I had. Somebody bought me one that was cool. My dad, same thing, will shower me with gifts. I got one from him. I was like, sweet, that's the one that's being my everyday play. And I was like, shoot, man, that was an acoustic one, and I wanted to get an electric. I was like, screw it, I'm going. Heck yeah. And I got the money, we're going to get an electric guitar. And I got it, and I did. I played it, and I put it down, never played it again. In perspective, because an electric guitar, you hear everything. So I took that in, just to get the fact that I even picked up an instrument. I did that, right? Did the thing, I got this guitar, there's a whole nother, that'll be part 2 of this one. Then, what I realized after that is all these things kind of come together. I don't know about you guys, but there's certain times where it feels right, and sometimes when it doesn't. When it does, it does. When it does, it doesn't. Like do the right thing when it feels right for you. Not necessarily, oh, doing the right thing, stop at the red light, do that. Do what feels good for you. The real, I wouldn't call it the moral of this story, but what I understand from myself and getting outside my comfort zone, just saying, hey, I would literally just raise my hand and say, I'll do it, to that. And when somebody, like I said, I look at that picture all the time because it's like, okay, cool. But other people, you didn't get to see what goes outside my room because people signed it. It was neat. And there's a lot of little things I just did for it. And every now and then I will look at those pictures, look at what they wrote. People signed it. Hey, look, this and that, whatever it is. It's actually in a frame. And however people do that, I don't know the professional saying, but you can tell me all the stuff I screwed up by not saying it. I'm just playing with you because you're the grammarian. What I would call it is confidence. That little bit of confidence of knowing you can do it. Just do it. Say yes. Who knows what it is? If it's something you haven't done before, but you're like, this is neat. Because I'll tell you what, when I knew there was a gun in that thing, I was like, sweet, I'll throw it around. Let's see what happens. And I'll tell you what, to be able to I'll literally, 21-1 salute, I'm sure you guys have seen what they do. But a drill team is a whole nother ball game. You throw guns to each other, you do all types of stuff. It's not just, we get to do stuff. Look up what a drill team does. It's pretty neat. Because when I started it, I was like, oh my, just don't look at me doing this. This is not, if I can't use the words that I wanted to use, that I did use at the time these days. But I was like, oh, this is for, kind of people. I don't want to do that. So getting outside the comfort zone, all of that, just how I said this is, I'm learning as I'm talking right now. Just say yes. You never know. I'll tell you that much right now. Because there's this place here that I've done in the last, I stepped for a couple of years, but there's another gentleman here that has actually helped me tremendously to get to where I am right now, to be honest with you. And I did it much happier than I ever thought I would, Mr. Toastmaster.